Like if you don't have the capacity, time, and energy to fully engage with a hobby, that does not mean that it doesn't still belong to you and with you and for you. Like your passions matter. You don't have to always be doing them for them to still matter. Like I'm still a painter, even if I don't paint. You're still a musician, even if you haven't written a song in a while. You're still a writer, even if you haven't written in months. These are things that are core to us in our identities. Hi, sunshine. It's me again. And now that I am doing these as videos, also you can tell that I am recording them all on the same day because I am wearing the same shirt. And I don't care that you know that. That's how we get shit done over here is I have an hour and I'm like, oh, I'm going to record 3 podcast episodes. Boom. Love it. Hot. Okay. What are we talking about today? Today, I want to talk about how to figure out if your hobbies have gone sort of dormant and you like want to hold on to those supplies, etc., for later when maybe that hobby wants to come back. Or if you don't like the thing and so you can like let go of all of the stuff. And this is coming about because I'm in a group on Facebook called the Neurodivergent Cleaning Crew. And then I'm also in, I think, ADHD crafters or ADHD crafting crew. And there's a lot of craft supplies out there, everybody. Like there's a lot of art happening. And there's a lot of people who see like a video online of like somebody making a rug and then they buy a rug tufting kit, right? And they're making fucking rugs. And then 3 months later, they're like, I am so tired of rugs. So what do you do with all your rug supplies? You know, do you donate them? Do you sell them? Honestly, I think it would be amazing if there was just like a monthly swap meet for neurodivergent artists to just bundle up all their things and be like, this one has rugs. This one has crochet. And you can just swap projects and learnings and stuff. That would be dope. But we don't have that right now. If that does exist, please tell me. But anyway, without that perfect, wonderful thing in my life, this is hard to say, right? Because I used to be a minimalist. It turns out that that was trauma and that I was trying to reduce my belongings and take up less space physically out of fear of taking up space emotionally and like with my whole being, right? So I tried to be less and less and less in every aspect of my life. This was not great. So during this phase, though, I ended up making a decision that I just wanted to focus on one hobby. And I chose painting. And so I got rid of all my other hobby materials. I gave away just a big old tote full of pipe cleaners and tissue paper and colored pencils and pastels, maybe even watercolors. I think maybe my painting was even just acrylic painting. So I gave it all away and I was like, oh, good. I am free. I'm free of the burden of my unused craft supplies. And now I am not really a minimalist anymore. If you're watching this on video, you can see that I am recording this in a kind of cluttered office/studio space. I've got a bookshelf with lots of books. I used to not have a lot of books, you guys. I pared down my books too. And I was like, I'm only going to keep as many books as fit on this small 2-shelf bookshelf. And now I'm like, no, we have books again. Yay for books. At the same time, please utilize your public library. They have access to bazillion of books for free. So libraries are hot and you should use them. But also, I kind of like just owning books, you know, books that I like, books that I want to read again, books that pertain to my career or books in my genre that I might want to reread again. I'm an author and I love just to read novels. Okay. All right. We're going to have Caitlin's therapy corner, and where I tell you about like all the sad things that I made myself give up. And then we're going to talk about this dormant hobby thing. So another thing that I used to do was I did not read fiction for years. I was like, no, fiction is frivolous. Fiction is unneeded. Fiction is just a silly indulgence, right? I like indulging in stuff, whatever. But I didn't want to read fiction because it wasn't improving anything about me, which is also a lie. But why does everything have to be about improvement? That's gross. Just do stuff because it's fun. My God. I talk about work, life, play, rest, balance, which is going to be trademarked soon. Work, life, play, rest, balance, TM. Got to call those trademark guys back. It's fine. This is part of play. Reading fiction, watching movies and films and stories and like TV shows, consuming fantasy and entertainment, like that's part of play. That's part of fun. That's part of joy. So all this stuff that's like TV is going to rot your brain. Oh, you shouldn't read silly, frivolous fiction. Go away. You're not my boss. And also, I don't have a boss anymore. It's me. And my boss said I can read whatever I want. So I really, really limited myself. I was like, no, only improvement. I can only read self-improvement and self-help materials. I can only read nonfiction. Like everything I read and consumed was meant to improve me. Fuck that, man. I am flawed and imperfect and I love my stories. So yeah, I'm going to read fiction. And now I write fiction too, which is delightful and brings me back to the dormant hobby thing. Because when I got rid of all that stuff, like I haven't really missed it. So that's okay for me. Those things, I had jewelry making supplies too. And those things for me were things that I tried and they didn't really spark a deep love in me. And so I was okay letting them go. And there's a difference between that and something like my acrylic paints where I may have taken a long break. I didn't paint for like a few years at a time. And then for a while I would only do like one painting like every 6 to 12 months. Like I wasn't painting much, but it wasn't gone. Like I didn't want to get rid of all my stuff. Oh, I just realized that there's trauma there too. We'll get to that. I wanted to keep it because I love my paints and I love painting, and it was just dormant because I had other shit going on. And so figuring out the difference between, oh, do I love this? And it's just not in my like focus budget right now. See the past episode about the focus budget, if that's a new term for you. Like if you don't have the capacity, time, and energy to fully engage with a hobby, that does not mean that it doesn't still belong to you and with you and for you. Like your passions matter. You don't have to always be doing them for them to still matter. Like I'm still a painter, even if I don't paint, you know? You're still a musician, even if you haven't written a song in a while. You're still a writer, even if you haven't written in months. These are things that are core to us and our identities. When I learned to crochet, it was not good. I made a very ugly, like shitty little rectangle because I made my stitches too tight on like some of the rows and they were looser in other rows. And so I made this like little weird kind of rhombus. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. I crocheted. Check. And I literally do not care to pick it back up. That is one that I can let go. That's never going to happen with paint for me. And maybe you love crochet and maybe you look at your yarn and you're like, oh, one day, baby, I'm going to crochet the shit out of you. Good. Keep the yarn. If anybody comes into your space and they're like, you haven't really crocheted in a while. Would you want to get rid of this yarn? Eat them. No, that's my yarn. It's for later. It's for me. But I hope that you can also use this to like let yourself let go of some of the stuff that you tried and it just didn't really resonate. That's fine. It served its purpose. Its purpose was there to let you experience something new, give it a try, and be playful. Hooray. Now let it go be playful with somebody else, Arrange an ADHD craft swap meet in your area. Give it to a friend. Trade it to them for rug supplies, like whatever it is. You don't have to have shame and guilt over not deeply resonating with it, because there's also pressure like, I spent money on it. I went to Michael's and I got all the supplies and I got this really pretty little caboodle container for it. That's fine. It has served its purpose. It used to spark joy and it no longer sparks joy. And it's literally okay to give it away. And now my eco anxiety will not let me throw stuff away. So that's going to Goodwill or I will find it a person. But I've had this basket of curated trash in my closet for 3 years because I want to make a 3-headed Cerberus possum sculpture out of garbage and then paper mache it and spray paint it gold. That's taking a long time to come to fruition. But that's okay. I still don't let my boyfriend throw that trash away. That's my special trash. So that's the difference between a dormant passion or hobby and one that you're just no, thank you. My sister got me a sewing machine for my birthday 2 years ago, still in the box, but I'm going to make that quilt. And I know I'm going to make that quilt. And I feel no guilt about it because I know one day I'm going to just get this wild rush of being I have to make the quilt right now. And if I had gotten rid of that sewing machine, I'd be so pissed. So yeah, let yourself just be your chaotic, gorgeous, little crafty self. This is the Neurodivergent Creative Podcast, so you are in good company here. Let yourself be creative, but also let yourself off the hook if you tried something creatively and you didn't like it. I have a friend who really loved watercolors, but she didn't like gouache. That's how we say that, right? Gouache. So fun. But she was I don't understand why I don't like it. It's basically the same thing. And I'm it doesn't matter. Just get rid of it. So she gave it to me. Now I have gouache. So on that note, I'm going to set you free. This was a short one, but I hope that this inspires you to let something go if you needed that permission, or to lovingly hold on to something that you haven't used in a little while. It's not mad at you. Your crafting supplies still love you, and they will be there like an old friend when you are ready for them. So life might happen. You might have seasons where you don't have as much time for being creative. That's okay, because there will be another season soon where you do get to be creative again and playful and have fun and crochet stuff and, I don't know, write a little ditty on the ukulele. I'm learning ukulele. I can do a chord. I can't tell you what the chord is, but I made one. I made some sounds and they were good sounds. So we'll see. It might not be a forever thing, or it might be. On that note, stay hydrated. I love you. Goodbye.